everyone. Welcome to tonight's Facebook Live series. My name is Amy Goodson. I am a registered dietitian and partner with Natural Delights Dates. I am so excited that you've joined us tonight for our first Facebook Live series of 6 different Facebook Lives. Now, this is really exciting for me as a registered dietitian because as we get into the holidays, it's fun to get to talk about all the foods we love and how we can make those more nutrient rich. So partnering with Medjool Dates is a win all the way around for me, and I'm really glad you've joined us. So I want you to connect with us tonight and follow Natural Delights at ND Medjool Dates on Facebook and on Instagram. On Facebook, you can follow me at Amy Goodson, and on Instagram at amyg.rd. So tonight is going to be a 30-minute Facebook Live series. We have some delicious goodness for you tonight, and I'm really excited to be talking all things sweet and savory twist on fall menus using whole, fresh Medjool dates. Now, one of my favorite parts of using dates is that they are a whole fruit and they give you that caramel natural sweetness that we're all looking for and craving in all of our dishes, especially around the holidays. Now, I have to give you a little date background. So dates have been around for thousands of years. And this year, I was actually fortunate enough to get to go to the date harvest in Bard Valley, which is in Southern California and Yuma, Arizona. And what is really cool about harvesting dates is that they are actually hand harvested by palmeros. You're going to see in this picture, this is straight off my phone in Arizona, where they're harvesting the dates. They go through a really meticulous process of sorting and grading to make sure that the best products get to your table by way of the grocery store. So you and your family can be confident that when you are getting a Medjool date, you are getting a whole food that's providing you with nutrients like fiber, potassium, antioxidants. And of course, one of the best parts is that they taste amazing. And so when we talk about using dates in recipes, it's really all about adding that natural sweetness. And one of the reasons I'm so excited to be partnering with Natural Delights Medjool Dates and doing this Facebook Live is as a registered dietitian, so many people talk to me about what they have to take out of their eating regimen to eat healthy or to eat well. And tonight, I want to challenge you to think about what you can add to your eating regimen or what you can swap in into swapping natural sweetness in by using Medjool dates in your recipes. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, when it comes to pitting and chopping dates, when I first got started here, I was a little bit amateur. And I'm telling you, pitting a date made my fingers very sticky. So before you can start using them in recipes, you have to know how to pit a date and how to chop a date. So I want to introduce you to the chopsticks and this cool way that I actually learned on YouTube to very easily pit a date. So you are going to take the end of your chopstick that's round. You are going to find that little seed in the middle, and then you are going to be pushing it right out. And you have literally a whole date with a little hole in it, ready to be used. It's literally the whole date still intact with no seed, and it's ready to be chopped up. Now, a lot of times when we're chopping dates, using the knife, it can get a little bit sticky. So one of the best things that you can do, little pro tip here, is to pop your dates in the freezer for about 15 or 20 minutes before you chop them. It helps you get a much cleaner cut, helps that knife slide right through the chopping. So pop those dates in the freezer, put them on your cutting board, and then you can begin to chop them a lot easier so that they are ready to go when you're using them in recipes. So now that you have your pro tips about how to pit dates and how to chop dates, let's get cooking and talk about how we're going to use dates in recipes. So our first recipe that we are going to be talking about tonight is a harvest quinoa salad. Now, lots of times when we think salads, we think summertime and all of the berries and things that we put in salads. But this fall, I want you to think about adding seasonal ingredients to create a really warm flavor with your salads. Salads give you so many opportunities to incorporate fiber, vegetables, fruit, all different nutrients. And tonight we are making a plant-based salad. So to make our harvest salad, we are starting with kale. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, as a registered dietitian, I don't actually love kale. It's really not my favorite. But if you will massage kale with your hands, so you get the dressing, you spread it on there, and then you massage it with your hands, this really softens it up and allows you to get that flavor kind of soaked into the kale, and it takes away some of that bitterness. Once you have your kale ready to go, you can begin to add your other nutrients. So tonight I have made an entire plant-based salad that really could work as a meal by itself, or it could work as a side dish. So we're going to be using quinoa in our salad. Now, if you don't know about quinoa, it is a whole grain. All right, so we are going to be using a little bit of gala apples. We, of course, are going to be adding some extra vegetables. So we have our yellow peppers chopped up previously, adding those in. We're adding in some red onion. And now here's the hero of our salad. We are adding fresh chopped Medjool leaves. So this is really going to give the salad some extra fiber. It's going to give it some potassium. And of course, it is going to get a lot of that natural sweetness. This salad actually has a homemade vinaigrette that was made with some apple cider vinegar. It's got a little bit of lemon juice, some olive oil, and it's homemade. It's got a little cinnamon, salt, and pepper. So this is a great way to add some of that fall flavor that we're looking for. And what we're going to do is just get that all tossed up. This is such a simple salad because you're really just tossing in your favorite fruits and vegetables. And look at this. You have a salad that's got the freshness of the dates. You've got the color from the butternut squash, the yellow peppers. You've got the quinoa, giving it a little bit of heartiness. So this is a fantastic dish that you could really serve up by itself, and because it's got the protein from the quinoa, but you could also pair this with salmon. You could pair this with flank steak. It could be a holiday dish, but it can really be a dish all fall long. So definitely going for the harvest quinoa salad. And I didn't mention this at the beginning, but you can find all of these recipes at naturaldelights.com. So that's fantastic. You can find these tonight. So you too could be eating this for dinner tomorrow night. Now, when we talk about the holidays, we like sweet. I love a little sweet and a little savory. And I don't know about you, but for as long as I can remember, my aunt has made sweet potatoes at our holiday gathering, whether it's at my grandmother's or wherever it is. And so when it comes to sweet potatoes, most of us think sweet. And I would love to know if y'all think sweet or if you think savory. I actually learned to like sweet potatoes with some salt and pepper. But when we think about some of those holiday dishes, it oftentimes has the marshmallows and some of that added sugar on top. So today we are making a sweet potato casserole with a walnut date crumble. And let me just tell you, when it comes to any form of like casserole dish or dessert, you pretty much had me at crumble. That's one of my favorites. You get that crunchiness, the gooiness. It's one of my things. So this dish that we're making tonight, you're going to start with sweet potatoes. Now, the recipe itself says to boil those sweet potatoes. So you peel them and boil them. But I'm going to tell you, I sometimes like to do it an easy way where you actually just take the potato and roast it. And from roasting the potato, you can just easily scoop it out, get it in your dish. You just scoop out the insides, and then you're mixing it with some milk, a little bit of butter and eggs. You're going to get that really well stirred, and then you're going to put it in your dish. So you want to make sure and grease your dish. While you're making the sweet potato mixture, make sure that oven is set at 350 degrees. You're going to get it all smeared in. So you want to make sure this is creamy, it's smooth, and then it is time to make the crumble. This is really my favorite part. And one of the things I love about between using walnuts and using dates is not only are you getting the natural sweetness, the little caramel flavor that I told you about in the dates, you're also getting some great texture. So you're getting some of the sweet and that chewiness of the dates with the crunchiness of the walnuts. And if you didn't know this about walnuts, they're actually a good source of omega-3 fatty acids. They have the most omega-3s compared to other nuts. So to make our crumble tonight, we're going to start with walnuts. We are going to add in our dates. We're going to add in flour. We are going to be adding a little bit of brown sugar to this dish, a cinnamon and nutmeg mixture that you will not be able to live without, a splash of vanilla, and then you start to get all this stirred together. Now, one thing you'll learn about a crumble is that if you add a little bit of butter, sometimes this can help get it going and get it kind of sticking together a little bit better. And I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm one that kind of likes to keep my hands clean, but in this situation, you got to use your hands. So you want to get your hands in because that's really going to allow that mixture to kind of mold the brown sugar, the nuts. You're going to get it all mixed up as best as you can. It takes a few minutes, I'm not going to lie, because you want to get that kind of crumble gooiness on that you can add right on top. And one of the things I like about this is, again, we're adding nutrients. So we're not talking about just taking something away. We're really talking about adding that sweetness that we all love and really incorporating a variety of nutrients. Like I said at the beginning, it's less of what you're taking out and more of what you're swapping in. And anytime you can use a nut or you can use a whole fruit, I would definitely say that's an opportunity to add those nutrients and the fiber. Once you get this really all mixed up well, you can put it on top of your sweet potato dish. Now, you're going to see I have an already made one that's big, and then I made a smaller one. So if you have a smaller family or maybe you're going to a smaller gathering, it's really easy to half the recipe, put that on top. Once you get your crumble all crumbled, covered, if you're like me, you're probably adding some extra dates, some extra walnuts, and some extra crumble. Once you get that done, you're going to pop that into the oven for 350 degrees for about 20-ish minutes. You know, you can leave it in there a little long if you like that crumble extra crunchy, but you see, you get this nice dish that's got all the layers of flavor. You've got the sweet potato creaminess with the crunch, with the dates, and it's really something that you could serve up for a holiday dish. You could serve that up as a side dish. And I'm going to tell you, I really think you could even serve this up with like eggs in the morning, right? Now, not going to lie, it makes your hands really sticky and really dirty. So that is one thing that you have got to pay attention to. Have some rags around. But let me tell you, the stickiness is worth it because the taste that you're going to get as you dive into this is something I think the whole family is really going to love. So put sweet potato casserole with walnuts and dates on your holiday menu, really for the whole fall. You could even do these in little individual cups if you were going to a gathering or something like that. So think outside of the box and how you could incorporate some of these dishes into different gatherings that you're going to. Now, one of the great things about Natural Delights is that we want you to get to taste fresh Medjool dates. You know, compared to all the dates out there, they really have the most caramely, I would say like delectable texture. I love it when you bite into them, the gooiness, the sweetness, and we want you to get to try them. So each week we are going to be doing a giveaway, and it's your job to answer this question. Tonight's question is, what is your favorite fall recipe with Medjool dates? So we want you to answer this in the comment box. The Natural Delights team is chatting there with you. They can answer any questions that you have about Medjool dates, about Natural Delights, but we want you to put your answer there. And after we do recipe number 3, we are going to be answering that and seeing who the winner is. And then you're going to be able to take home or have sent to you a variety pack of Natural Delights Medjool dates. So answer what your favorite is. I have so many. I don't even know. I like salads with dates. I love incorporating them into grain dishes. And I'm a sweet potato fan, and I like using them on cheese boards, desserts. So I don't know. I'd have to really think through what my favorite actually is, but we would love to hear yours. Now, the theme of tonight is sweet and savory. And so when we talk about savory dishes, I think we love savory in the fall. It kind of warms us up, gives us a little bit of that, you know, I said it's cold and raining outside, kind of makes you feel good inside. But a little bit of natural sweetness can really elevate the flavor of a savory dish. So I'm going to get my little burner turned on. So this dish is a curry almond date rice pilaf. And I'm gonna tell you, I have had my intern Jessica here with me today, and we were making this, and we're like, oh my gosh, it smells so good in here. It really just has that warm flavor, that curry smell. And then when you put a little bit of the sweetness with it, with a little bit of the crunch of the almonds, it's really a fantastic dish. It tastes good, it smells good, and it's really gonna satisfy your taste buds. So to make this dish, you are going to start by sweating some onions. Now, I have done this in advance for you because it takes about 15 minutes to sweat onions. And so that would have taken our whole experience tonight. So you're going to sweat onions in your skillet for about 15 minutes. You pop the lid on. Once those are translucent, you add your rice and you get that all stirred up. Your goal is really to get your basmati rice glistening, let's call it, because we put a little butter in there, right? So we want it to be glistening and able to really coat the rice because that's going to give it some flavor. So as I said, this has some curry in it, and it really, I mean, you're going to see when you see the main dish, it gives it color, which is fantastic. It's got some salt and pepper in it, so for a little bit of seasoning. And we're actually going to add some bay leaves because in a minute when we add some stock, that is really going to help get that fall flavor and savor it in. Now, once you have your curry, your salt, your pepper, everything stirred well together with the rice, we're going to put in our crunch and our sweet. So we are going to be using shaved almonds here. So this is giving you some of that crunch. As I said, I'm really a crunchy kind of a girl. I like crunch. And then we are using about 6 chopped up, they're fairly diced, I would say, of the Natural Delights fresh Medjool dates in this recipe. Again, it's going to give it that savory, that sweet, the sweet that kind of balances out the savory, I would say. And so when I made this earlier to make the first dish, I really wanted to get it all stirred together because I want the curry, I want the salt and the pepper, the almonds to all kind of blend together. Once you get this, like if you look at this, take it off the burner, you're going to see it. It's pretty well mixed. You can see that my rice went from a whitish color to a curryish color. I've got the dates in there. And, you know, when you cook these dates, it kind of softens them up a little bit. And it really allows, I would say it allows the flavors to kind of like mold together. And so they really become one, the sweet and the savory. In this dish, you can make it one of 2 ways. You can use a chicken stock or you can use a vegetable stock. So if you have vegetarians in your family, you might want to use a vegetable stock, or you can use a chicken stock. You're going to use about 2 cups. You're going to pour this in to your dish. You're going to get this stirred up well. And then what you want to do is actually bring this to a boil. Once you get it to a boil, you'll bring it on down to a simmer for about 5 minutes. Now, I had to check the recipe to make sure that this was correct. Once this is simmered for a few minutes, and like I said, really kind of let all the flavors mold together, you're actually going to pop the lid on this and pop this in the oven. Now, I thought in my head, is that actually correct? And I guess I don't make a lot of homemade rice pilafs all the time. But you do. You need a microwave, an oven-safe skillet or pan that you can put in the oven. You're going to pop that in there, and it basically kind of simmers and absorbs all of that stock and that flavor and the fluid. So by the time you take it out, it's got this really nice texture. It's thick. You'll see it's got the dates in there. The almonds still have a decent little crunch to them. But again, you've got that warm flavor, a little bit of sweet. And so if you're like me and you like adding a little bit of sweet, the dates really brighten up the dish. They add a little bit of pop of color, you'll see there. And they're definitely adding more of that natural sweetness. So, you know, when we're cooking throughout the fall and the winter months, think of dates as a perfect kind of swap for your refined sugar. So instead of just using actual sugar, or instead of using just a plain like maple syrup or something like that, think of using dates as a swap for that refined sugar, because again, you're going to be getting the nutrients, you're getting that potassium, you're getting antioxidants, which, it's a big word we throw around, that antioxidants are the good guys that help strengthen our immune systems. They help us. They're really good for our bodies to help fight off all the bad guys. And dates are a good source of antioxidants along with fiber. So that is a really great way to add the flavor, add the nutrients. So I know you are all wondering if you're winning the dates. So right now, the Natural Delights team is announcing the winner. I'm a little far from my computer, so I can't necessarily see the name, but they are announcing the winner. And here is what we want the winner to do. We want you to send us a direct message on the Natural Delights Facebook page. So within 24 hours, and our team will then get your address and all the information we need to send you your variety of pack of Natural Delight dates. Because let's face it, I know you all want to make these recipes. We got a little sweet, little savory, the freshness with the salad. And these are some things that you can really incorporate lots of flavor, lots of color into your family's weeknight routine, as well as into all the gatherings that you're going to, since we're going to get to do that this year. And again, it's just an excellent way to get the flavor that you want with all the nutrients that you need. So tonight was week 1, but I'm really excited because next week we are talking about lightening up some of your favorite dishes with dates. And one of the things I'm going to show you how to do is make a date drizzle. And I'm going to leave it at that because you're going to be wondering how to make that date drizzle and how you can drizzle it on anything that you're making, from breakfast to appetizers to some of your dinner dishes. So next week, 7 o'clock Central, right here on the Natural Delights Facebook page, we're going to be sending out reminders this week, as well as talking about some of the dishes that we're going to be going through. So again, be sure to follow Natural Delights at Medjool Dates, both on Facebook and on Instagram. And then you can follow me. I'll be talking about the event as well on my Facebook page, Amy Goodson Nutrition Consulting, as well as on my Instagram at amyg.rd. So as we like to say, dates are raised on sunshine. They're full of nutrition and really an excellent way to just elevate all the dishes that you are making throughout the holiday season. So with that being said, thanks for sticking with me tonight. I appreciate your patience. And next week, November 9th, I will see you same place, same kitchen, same time. Have a great evening, everyone.